Hello and welcome to day 7 of the OpenAI Agent Builder. In the previous video, we saw how do we create our own widget and use it in the workflow. In today's video, let's see how do we build a blog writing agent. We had done something similar in N8N series, and we would like to see how can we replicate something similar on OpenAI Agent Builder. So let's get started. Okay, so I've created a new workflow and we have a start node and my agent node. So let's see what needs to be done with this. So before we begin, let's head over and create some variables that we may need in the flow. The first one is going to be video URL. Okay, and that is going to be a string. The next one we are going to get as blog. So once the blog is finally written, let it be saved in this particular variable. And the next one is going to be revision required. Again, is going to be a string. Finally, we will have something called ready to publish, which is going to be Boolean. Okay, and by default, it is going to be false. Right, so we have 4 parameters that we have created, and this is going to be agent, which is going to write the blog. Okay, so let me just make this as blog writing agent, and the instruction is going to be you are an expert content writer who specializes in turning video transcripts into readable SEO-friendly blog posts. Okay, now input, for now I'm going to remove these things, right? And follow these rules carefully. Identify the key ideas and organize them into logical block structure, intro, sections, and conclusion. Remove spoken language fillers, timestamps, and repetitions. Keep the tone natural, informative, and conversational, like a professional blog post. Use subheadings H2/H3 where appropriate. Optimize for SEO by naturally adding relevant keywords based on the video's theme. End with a summary or key takeaway section. Okay, and input over here is going to be add context and input as text. Okay, and this one we're going to add it over here in input, right? So once that is done, let's click on save. Ideally speaking, we need to be using the user input over here, right, which is basically input as text, and this one, right, could just be, we can remove this and just mention expert writers who specialize in turning video transcript into readable SEO friendly blog post based on the user input. Right, now what we are going to give as an input is going to be YouTube URL. Okay, and we need transcription of that YouTube video, right? And we already saw how do we get this via MCP on N8N. So we're going to use the same MCP that we used last time, right? And for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this connection and add one more agent here. And this is going to be transcription agent. Okay, we could add that within this, but let's simplify the process. Fine, so we'll mention use the MCP tool to get the transcript of the video URL shared by the user. Okay, so that's that. Output format is going to be JSON. Okay, and this is going to be, let's say, video URL string. The second one is going to be transcript, okay, which is also going to be a string. And we're going to add tools here, which is going to be MCP server. It's taking some time for whatever reason. Let me just refresh. It generally auto saves, so we're not losing anything. Going back here, click on MCP server. So it's not loading, just let's give it some time. And meanwhile, I'm just going to rename this to blog right there, 1000 base. Let's go to tools, click on MCP server and server. We're going to add the URL here, and the URL is whatever we used last time, right? So same thing here, go to production, copy this, okay, come back, paste it. Label is going to be video summarizer, or this time we can use it as video transcriptor. Okay, and authentication, like I mentioned, because we are just showing you, we are going with none, but please use access token or custom headers. We've already shown that in one of the videos. Click on connect, and we don't need get a video in YouTube. Okay, we just need get YouTube video transcript. Okay, so I'll click on add, and here we can just use MCP tool to get the transcript of the video URL shared by the user. And we're going to add one more, and this is whatever the user has sent, which is input as text. Okay, so we get the transcript from here, and we can make this as JSON, and let's add the schema as transcript, right, which is string. Click on update, and we can also add one more state here, or rather one more node, one more step, whatever you want to call it as, set state. And this is going to be, transcript was not there, so we'll add a variable. This is called transcript, and that is going to be a string. Click on save, and this is going to be the transcript that we get from previous step. Now connect this. Now let's go here, and we can mention you're an expert content writer who specializes in turning video transcript into readable, friendly blog posts based on the user input. Now here, we can just change it to based on the transcript provided. Transcript provided. Okay, let's click on save. And this one could be the transcript that we've got from previous step. Add context and transcript. Okay, now we'll go back here and we'll slightly change this because we are given it as user input. Now we can directly change this on based on transcript provided. Right, transcript provided, and we will change this one, the user input, to whatever transcript we got from previous step. Okay, and we could use the tools, and it could be web search, right? We could give any website if you want, or we'll leave it to empty, right? So it has access to web search. Now the output format, let's make it as JSON and add schema. We'll go to advanced, and here I'm going to paste this. Okay, so we have two things. One is block, which is string, and no, it's just one thing, right? It's just the block, which is string, and required is block. So block should not be empty. Okay, so if you have updated that, now, so far it is good. But what do we need is basically a QA agent, right? Which can analyze if the block that is getting written by this agent is good enough. And so what we will do is we will use a while loop, okay, and we're going to add something like this. Expand this, get this within, right, and connect this over here. Now, this is not coming. Let's go back and let's change this to transcript. Okay, we've already set that over here, so that gets linked. Now we'll remove this particular line and we will add the set state, and this is going to be a block. This is coming from previous step, output block. Okay, we'll just expand this particular thing a bit more, and we will add one more agent, and this agent is going to be QA agent. Just wait, I'll get what is the prompt from here. This is just this one, so I'm going to delete this. We don't need this. On here, copying this, 0 for me, medium, JSON. Okay, I'll come back to that. So this one is, the instruction is going to be something like this, right? So you are an experienced content editor and SEO strategist. Access the post on the following aspect: readability, grammar and flow, engagement, SEO, conversion potential, right? And output if revisions are required. then put that in revisions required field. Okay, if the blog is ready and doesn't need any changes, then return ready to publish as true. Okay, and we can change this to 0.04 mini. Okay, and tools, again we'll give it web search, just in case if he wants to do any search and get some details, right? Also, we'll change the output format to JSON, and let's add the advanced schema. Here we have two variables, okay, or two outputs. One is ready to publish, which is of type Boolean, default is false, and revisions required, which is type string, and both of them are required, right? We'll click on update, and once we get it, we are again going to set state, right? So we're going here, click on set state, and over here, we're going to update these things, right? Revisions required, which is going to be revisions required from the previous step. And finally, we're also going to say ready to publish, which is again from previous step. Now connect this one over here. This is a while loop like we have already seen. I'm just going to expand, and here we are going to give the expression, and the expression that we're going to give is ready to publish equals to false. What this means is until ready to publish is false, we will keep looping, right? So if you remember, in the first step, ready to publish was Boolean, and default value we have to make it as false. Click on save. Okay, so by default this is going to be false, and when we come over here, if the QA agent thinks that it is ready, that's when it is going to be set to true. Finally, once all of this is done, we will add one more agent, right? And this is going to be the final blog agent. Okay, and here it is going to be, your role is to display the block. That's it. Don't change anything in the block. Okay, and input is state block. Click on save, and everything is good. Now let's test this out. I'm going over here, and I'm going to get, let's say, this particular video URL, and I'm going to send this video URL over here. So transcript agent is running. Okay, so we didn't change the MCP settings, so it's asking us for approval. We can remove that. So we're getting the transcript, as we can see. While loop is running, so it's getting the blog written now. So this blog is getting written basis the transcript that we got from the MCP on n8n, right? Once the blog is written, it will go to QA agent. Let's quickly check that. So you can see that a QA agent asked revision required, right? Ready to publish was false. Revision required, revisions required. It has given some pointers here. Okay, basis which it is now writing the blog again. Okay, so it's making the corrections mentioned by revisions required here. So we saw that it is going in loop, and that's because we had given this user input as just this transcript, right? So let's mention this as video transcript, and we'll also give the revisions required equals to, and context, and this one. Let's open it up, and this is good. Okay, because if we don't give that to this agent, then it will miss the revisions required. And I'm also going to mention if revisions required is not empty, revisions required is not empty, please cater to the changes requested previous blog version. Okay, and here we can go and mention previous blog version is at context, and we can leave the blog. Click on save. Once this is done, let's go over here and give the video URL. So it'll ask us for the permission because we have still not removed that setting. It's now getting the transcription of the video using the n8n MCP. It's now writing the blog. So it's now in the QA agent, and as you can see, revisions required. Overall, the post is well structured and clear, but to maximize engagement, SEO effectiveness, and conversion potential, consider the following revisions, right? So now the blog is getting written with the changes that QA agent has suggested. So let's check what happens. QA agent has come in. Okay, and you can see here QA agent has given ready to publish. Okay, we are not able to see it as yes, but revision required is empty. And final blog is actually over here, right? To see what actually happened at every step, we can actually go to evaluate. Okay, and we could actually trace what happened, right? So this was the second step. In the first step, if we go here and if we click on post, and that's how you build a blog writer using OpenAI's Agent Builder. I know we are still dependent slightly on N8 and MCP because of the limitations on OpenAI side, but you could see that the entire blog was getting written. I hope this is helpful, and if so, please do not forget to share it with your friends, colleagues, and family. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.